morning. Today we're going to work on how to make an achievement list. Your information for your achievement list is going to be in the resume packet that I gave you on the first day of this unit. It's the big fat packet. So if you go past the notes and you go past the information on resumes, it's towards the end. It will have all the information that I'm going to go over today on this video cam, and have some examples there for you to actually look at as you go to build your achievement list. So please open up that packet. You can pause this for a minute and get that out, and then you can follow along and take some notes. So one of the reasons why we use an achievement list is because when you are building your resume, you are only allowed one page. And right now at your age, we have a lot of unrelated work experience. An achievement list we can include, it's kind of our way of cheating. So we can go ahead and give them a little bit more information about us without making a 2-page resume, which we're not allowed to do. So on that achievement list, the first thing I want you to realize is that it is not a list of awards. Okay, I have everybody that's like, oh, I haven't achieved anything, I haven't won awards, I can't do one. Basically, the achievement list is going to be everything that you did not highlight on your worksheet that we've been working, your brainstorming worksheet that we worked on for the first week of the trimester. So this can be unrelated work skills, it can be your hobbies, it can be your leadership, church service, anything that we didn't put on the resume can now go here. Any of your club stuff and all that stuff, all that information. So this is where we'll put your hobbies, classes you've taken, awards you've received, etc. You should already have a decent list, because that's why we did the brainstorming worksheet. If you didn't fill out that worksheet well enough, you may have to go back to the drawing board and think of more things. You can even add classes that you've taken that you didn't put on your resume. We do not want to repeat anything from the resume. It will confuse the people that are looking at it. They're going to wonder why you have the same information listed twice. The other thing that we want to do is make sure that we label it an achievement list so that they don't think you have 2 resumes. When we go to type these, we're not even going to make them fancy, because if we make them fancy, it will look like 2 resumes. So we literally just want it to be a list. The nice thing about having this is that once you have it all typed up, we can actually copy and paste information from the achievement list into the resume, into future resumes as your objective changes. For example, let's say right now you are applying to work at Kent's, but 3 months from now you decide that you want to apply to be a dance instructor. And on your achievement list, you had listed all of your dance information and your skills and how long you've been dancing and your competitions. Well, now that becomes your work experience rather than a hobby. So you would be able to copy that entire section and put it into your resume. So it should be able to be used moving forward depending on what it is that you're applying for. So in your packet, you have a couple of different examples of how to build achievement lists. This is one of the examples here. You can see that we have all of your grades. So they've lumped it by category. You have academic achievement, extracurricular activities, extracurricular community activities. These headings you can change to anything that you would like. You can have this be hobbies. You can have it be dance experiences. You can have it be FFA experiences. You can have it be church experiences. I don't care what you do. You get to categorize those based on what you actually have. All right. So this would be by category. At the end of every line, if you notice on here, it has given. This was in the 11th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade. I prefer years. I think this makes you look a little bit juvenile. So I would put like 2018 through 2020 or 2019 through 2020 or whatever. I would put those down as years and then break it down. Again, no full sentences. You won't see the word I anywhere on any of these. You've got to put them down. I highly recommend, though, that you add some verbs so that it makes sense, because some of these things, they're not going to understand what they are. I've had students write down Monsters for Munchkins, and they're like, we don't even know what Monsters for Munchkins are. And that was a program that we did a few years ago. So you would say, participated in Monsters for Munchkins making stuffed animals for Primary Children's Hospital. So you're kind of explaining it. If you have an award, received a varsity letter for wrestling my 12th grade year. But start with those action words and explain some of those things so that they are not completely confused when they go to do it. But this is one style. You get to choose the styles. You actually have examples of each of these in that packet. So this one would be, again, by category, and then you would write down your information with the year off to the side. The next one, this style focuses on each year separately. This way, you don't have to list the year on every line, because it would say like your junior year, sophomore year, freshman year, whatever it is. You do want to start with your most recent first. So, and I don't know if you can see this. But anyways, you'd want to start with your senior year, and you would write down the dates of your senior year. So you'd put 2019 through 2020 at the top, and then underneath there, they have broken that into categories like school activities, church activities, community activities, and so on. You can either do that, or you can just say junior year, senior year, sophomore year, and then just list everything. If you do have categories, it makes it a little bit smoother. A lot of people like this format because it breaks it down. Because if you were to just say, on the last format, I was in FFA, and off to the side of FFA you put from 2016 through 18. This way you actually get to list FFA 3 times. It doesn't go on one line, it goes on 3, because you get to list it your senior year, you get to list it your junior year, and you get to list it your sophomore year. And then you would break down the activities that happened throughout that year. So if your senior year in FFA, you went to state or you won something in nationals, you could list those separately. You could have this even say FFA activities rather than school activities, and then list everything you did your senior year, everything you listed your sophomore year, junior year, and so on. So start with the most recent and go backwards. But the nice thing about this format as well is that you only have to put the dates on the top of the categories and not at the end of every line as you're going down. Still, you want to explain those, starting with action words when you can, like earned 3 SOAR awards for academic achievement and citizenship. I have people write down pathways completers. Sometimes they don't understand what that is. You could say earned a pathways completion for finishing several classes in the agricultural science department or something. I don't know, explaining it that way. So you get to kind of choose what those are. If you put down key card, most of them don't even know what that is. So you could say earned a Ken Garff key card for academic excellence my junior year. So just kind of explain those, not full sentences, but enough information so that they make sense. And then again, you could just have junior year and list a whole bunch of random things, or you can do junior year, break it down by category, and these categories can be anything that you want them to be. They don't have to say school activity, church activity, community activity. It could just be FFA activities, dance activities, welding activities. But again, on your achievement list, it should not be anything that you have already put on your resume. It should be all the extra stuff that we're putting. Now, how long does it have to be? And that's usually the next question that I get. This does not have to be a full page like your resume does. But if it's less than half a page, it's really not even worth including. So I would like to see each of you get to at least a half a page. You're going to want to label it an achievement list so that they know what it is, and you can add. This is where you can put down those classes that you took, anything that, hobbies, stuff even if it's not necessarily related to your work. Unrelated work experience. So if you left off that you worked at Kent's when you were trying for that job as a dental assistant, you can now add Kent's onto that achievement list. So any of that kind of stuff works for me when it comes to your achievement list. This is another one. Again, you have examples of all of these inside your packet. But this one has, again, the sports clubs, extracurricular, leadership, service, honors, and awards. You get to choose these headings, and then on this style, again, kind of back to the first one, you would have dates on every single line. And I do prefer it this way, where you actually put the years opposed to sophomore, junior, senior year. Okay, I'm thinking that is it. Yep, that's it. So that's what we're looking for as far as the achievement list. Get that written out as a rough draft and then submit it to me through Canvas, or you can take a picture and email it to me and I will get you points. These are your rough drafts. We will start typing next week. Thanks.